think that entrepreneurship is all about the business.
That's not true. Absolutely not true. Once you know yourself, who you are, what do you want, what you already know within yourself, you will definitely be successful. That I guarantee you.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Personal Development for Entrepreneurs. I'm Ikram with my good friend and mentor, Dr. Venga. Today, we're going to be talking about mastering your emotions, the key to clarity, balance, and success. Good evening, Dr. Venga.
Good evening, Ikram. Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
You're always feeling good, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, have to lah, huh?
Correct.
Which means
Yep.
your emotions also good lah, huh?
Emotions can be a little roller coaster sometimes, depending on the workload and what I'm up with. But generally, because I actually enjoy what I'm doing, so it's I'm okay with the stress and the pressure.
Very good. You know, Ikram, after we talked about the last month when we talked about it, and along the way, this subject of emotion came up. So actually, Ikram, for the first time in my entire adult life, I have spent so much of time, more than 30 days, now every day spending a little time to going back to wanting to discover what this emotion and all that. And it's amazing uh, that actually until today, as I speak now on the 20 what 20 this is 2025 in the month of September, right?
Right.
Up to this point in time, can you imagine there is no definite uh, way of explaining emotion? Nobody knows how and what and why. Nobody knows that, including the eminent professors in this field of emotion. All of them came from United States of America, starting from the guy who said that from monkey we became human. What was his name?
Darwin.
The DNA difference 1.23%, but we became a human, and he doesn't know what. From that period, far beyond that, and I took a lot of trouble to look at. I have never spent so much of time on this subject as we're going to talk to you, and try to let us condense into a 30-40 minute talk.
Fantastic.
I don't know how much of this is going to get through. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you see, when we were talking about mental toughness the last time we met, and this is how emotion came out, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But let me take you back, no? Okay, first of all, let me make a broad statement. This is my opinion, okay?
Right.
My opinion. Do you know about all the humans in this world today?
Mm-hmm.
Only the Indians can manage their emotion extremely well. Only the Indians. Not the English educated Indians. The Indians who have educated themselves in their own mother tongue, or those who know the Indian languages and have studied it and understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to understand that. And let me take you back, Lana. The two epics, or what we call the history of India, is the first one, which talks about the human development. Now, human development started some 100,000 years ago.
Right.
The brain, especially only the brain part, or others think, no, but the development of this started about 100,000 years ago from what we were, and that also from the Western perspective,
Right.
from the Western, because the West always claimed that they knew everything better than anybody else. And this is what the first war we ever read about is the Ramayana,
That's right.
okay, where uh, the famous person Rama went to Sri Lanka and destroyed a very beautiful city completely and killed the villain who stole his wife, and came back and spent a whole year in the Himalayas regretting over the killing of the person. When asked why, he took your wife, that you went there and fought and destroyed a whole country, and now you are going to the Himalayas to spend 1 year being on your own. Why? And he said, of the 10 things about the man I killed, 9 of them were very good.
Mm-hmm.
Only 1 was not good. I regret having killed that person. If you read that the Ramayana, you'll probably understand this much better. No? And
Right.
from then on, he went on a path of non-violence, always controlling his emotion on everything, from giving up his kingdom and all sorts of things, until his wife, who was pregnant, was let to go. He let her go into the jungle because of some opinion from people, and she gave birth to two sons. And Rama nearly more killed his 2 sons. And then he never saw his wife again. And then he went away. These are historical data. No? Okay, that's the first episode. The second one was Mahabharata, where it was a controlled event, where those who fought with one another were the soldiers. And just imagine, they had a war. They fight from sunup to sundown. And
Right.
the both sides, there were they talk about the number, which mind-boggling numbers. There were 10 million troops fighting there. I don't know how that's what they talk about. Okay, where in the evening all the wives and children and all that will get together and cook food for both sides, and they ate together. Next day they fought the war again for 18 days. And this is the Mahabharata. Can you imagine that? Okay. You must have a hell of a lot of emotion to fight a war and then eat together with the family whom you have killed. Is that great, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the 2 things. So when I make the statement, the Indians are the best in emotional control and understanding emotion. Let me get down to now, currently, how we have. So as I said just now, it was 100,000. That's also guessing, 100,000 years ago when our brain began to develop,
Right.
and then there were always this war between one race, another race, and all this was happening. In the process of it, the war also, they did not fight a war where morning to evening they kill when they can and did all that atrocity in the war. You know what happened in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you fight a war today where only we will fight sun up to sundown, and then we cook and eat together? No, isn't it?
No.
It must have been a hell of a emotional control in that. Then coming forward, what happens is the war created people to survive, finding ways to survive, finding new tools, whatever. War the itself created human evolution, meaning to think, to do better, to find a way to defend. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Cultivation added to that. Then came the human aspiration to become better at it. And I'm speaking of the time when a ironmonger will always remain an ironmonger, a man who fought the war like a soldier will remain like that, and then the farmers were farmers, and you know, whatever, each of them had their own little industries and did whatever they want to do. The West, of course, labeled it as caste, you know, but it's not that. This is what happened, okay? And then from then on, we have nation and what have you and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the nation want to aspire to become better. This is what I call the human aspiration and human competition. In that, we grew our brain. It grew, developed.
Right.
Then came the 19th century, the First World War, then the Second World War.
Mm-hmm.
And it is after the Second World War that suddenly we begin to develop our way of thinking, all begin to improve drastically. Has nothing to do with education. Has nothing to do with that, okay? It got to do with the human aspiration to survive, to, to do better, to want to have better things, which was influenced greatly by the West. All these tall building that you see being built in the whole of Asia was because of the West. Yes or no?
Yes.
We built huge temples, handmade temples from a mountain or build it, you know, that we did. But we never ever build building and worship the building. We never did that. It is the West that brought that, okay? You see, important. So we learned from the West about impressing people. And we looked at emotion as aspiration, meaning to impress you, to impress rather than, you know, we learned from the West how to impress. But the Eastern countries did not bother about what you dress with or how are you dressed, whether you are shaven or not, doesn't matter. But they were more interested in expressing themselves, expressing their view. So if you take impression and expression, expression is the key, not the impression. How I look is not important. How I express myself is very, very
More
important.
important. That's
Isn't
right.
that true? Huh?
Yeah.
And then that came on, industrialized revolution that started off, make us to think better, make better tools, better way, better way. And that's how all this came. To this date, Ikram, even the Western, the best institute in the world, cannot define emotion. We cannot.
Mm-hmm.
The only way we can define emotion is you take the word emotion, dash motion, motion, and then became the emotion. Energy gives you motion.
Motion. Right.
What a bunch of and the and there's a doctor, Lisa Feldman Barrett. She expresses it very, very well. And she has done, she's a professor, she has done a lot of things. And she says this, no? In conclusion, we don't know what is this emotion. We know fear, and we develop along that. Then
Right.
came very recently, about emotional intelligence. Remember not?
EQ.
Yeah, exactly. That sort of got up to the very end. Now they have dropped it and they say, when you are feeling, when you become aware that you're emotional, become intelligent. Look to your intelligence. Deep inside, look at your intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when you are angry, when you're stop. Are you intelligent or not? If you ask that question, are you an intelligent person? Yes. Then stop being emotional. That's all they can say. And this is important for you to. And then they went to India and they discovered this mindful meditation, and then they created the word called awareness, and then attention. But Ikram, from the word of a leading professor, this Lisa Feldman, you know what she said?
What did she say?
English language cannot describe emotion. We don't have English language cannot possibly explain emotion.
Right.
But guess what, the language that is used a lot, and this you must understand Indian language. Actually, it expresses very well emotion. The Indian languages, Tamil as an example, or Sanskrit as an example, okay, or even Hindustan, Urdu, the local languages, they're adequate enough to explain emotion.
Right.
In this, I must come back to this Western impression versus Eastern expression. Can
Mm-hmm.
you try to put on a nice jacket? We all dress like white men, right?
Yes.
We do. Yeah, we want to impress. We are white men, no? Why can't I dress like an Indian? Is it something wrong? No. but
No.
there you are. But we have been influenced in that way, sure. So emotion is something that the West got no authority or to say that your emotion is good or bad. Like, when this Donald Trump and President Putin met, there
Yep.
is a 1 hour tape on the body language of Putin and Trump. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
1 hour they analyzed. He was putting his hand like that. He was not happy. He was doing like this. He was all sorts of nonsense. So, for our purpose, come down to this. Why am I telling you all of this? As an Asian, we have developed our own way of understanding emotion much, much better than the West.
Right.
But what happens is we always look at people at the lower end of the pyramid and then build a certain type of perception. And based on that, the white people or the people of the West make a conclusion that we don't know how to manage our emotions. Totally wrong.
Correct.
Totally wrong. Because our whole development as a human being, I am a good example of that. I have never been to school. You cannot tell me that I do not know how to manage my emotion.
No. You don't read very well. Actually.
So where did I develop this? I developed it by myself, understanding myself, understanding why I'm reacting to this. Why am I trying to impress on this? Why am I expressing it that way? Expression becomes the key to emotion. Okay, it is also true to borrow from the West, which is awareness and attention are the two keywords. So the first
Awareness
thing is
and attention.
attention, awareness and attention. You must become aware and pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
Once you pay attention, then you are in control already.
Right.
So to deal with our subject as an example, why managing emotion matters in our life. Why does it matter? Yeah, because it matters in it influences us. We make decision with which emotions are involved in it, relationship, the impact on relationship, the health and the well-being of ourselves, and finally, we want to be successful. All of this has emotion attached to it. Yes or not?
Correct.
I want more. I want a better house. What's wrong with your house? Nothing wrong, right?
Emotion, nothing, yeah. People just find
Emotion, right?
emotion problems, yeah.
I want a little bit more room. Knowing very well that only 20% of the current house you have, only 20% of the space you are using. The rest are there for show. Right or not?
Correct.
The amount of time you spend on something.
That's right.
So while we accept the fact that emotion actually pushes us to become better, you must also pay attention the fact that this it matters because when I give you an example, if I say to you and mention your name, Ikram, you did this wrong,
Mhm.
automatically it triggers an emotion in you, right?
That's right.
Correct or not?
That's
Because I
right.
use two words, Ikram and you. Correct. That's
Come,
it.
yeah.
Ikram. But don't tell me Ikram, only one Ikram in this world.
No, there's a lot.
You. The whole population of 8 billion people is you, right?
Correct.
But yet, why? When I say you, you're talking about me, huh?
Attachment.
You see what I'm trying to say? No?
Yeah.
But if I change the word from Ikram to you, and I turn it around and said, uh, this paragraph, okay, this paragraph need to be changed. This sentence need to be changed. When I say like that to a work that you have produced, am I dealing with you or am I dealing with what you have done?
With what I've done.
See that? I am saying it, becoming aware that you would get emotionally upset. But I skip that, then I talk about the particular thing that you have done. Then you are not emotionally hurt. I am not emotionally hurt, right or not? That's why the Indians have developed poetry, literature, all sorts of things, no? Explaining this in a very great detail, how to manage what is inside us.
So
And
by
that,
psychology, words stimulate emotion.
yes,
And this can be controlled. That means you can control the emotions of others by choosing the right words.
yes.
Right.
And one of the thing I discovered, no, it's true, no, Ikram, huh? That is when we see something, it triggers our emotion. When you hear a word, it triggers our emotion. When someone cooks a food and you smell, it triggers emotion, right or not?
That's right.
And when you talk about it, you also feel that emotion and touch. All the five external factors influence our emotion, but
Correct.
not the internal one that is safely in place. We don't even know what triggers that emotion. We don't know. Nobody knows. Science cannot say it. It can say, you see a tiger, you are fearful. Yes. But how did I become fearful? A tiger never ate me or half of me. Not yet.
Imprinted.
You see, that's a conclusion I'm making, that it's possible from seeing a picture, or you have heard about it. So it's a hearsay of what you have heard before, but not real. But not real.
Correct.
That's why FEAR, FEAR, the word fear?
Fear, yes.
False evidence appearing real. FEAR, false evidence appearing real. Triggers emotion.
That's right.
See or not? So that's why in a lot of way, managing emotion, again, the English word, awareness, attention. But throughout our life, we have to realize that this emotion we have because we ourselves don't understand. Science cannot tell you because of this you are emotional. Cannot. They can only, the word is infer. And this is what this Dr. Lisa, what's her name? I said Lisa. Lisa.
Lisa.
She said it. It can only infer, but cannot be definite.
Right.
Now, one of the things I discovered, Ikram, all the wars that have been fought in this world is due to emotion. All the war up to now. Can you believe it?
Definitely, yeah.
You
will
know,
always be the result of emotions.
with a lot of emotions, right?
Correct.
And then we develop that emotion into nationalism. I have to protect my race or my country and all that, and the entire thing. You see now, Russia, Ukraine, the damn NATO, the European, all that are fighting about what?
Power. They say the three G's: God, glory, and gold.
See? So, Ikram, that we need to understand what triggers this emotion. That's the second thing. Understand emotional trigger. We need to understand that. And self-awareness is key. So, awareness, attention, self-awareness. What is the root cause of it? What is causing that emotion? And then, one strange thing, emotion starts from the body.
That's right.
And you know what? 100% of all the cells in our body are cells. They either come from our parent, 20%, 80% is from the food we eat, right?
Correct.
And all the cells are cells, including the brain. The brain is a computing station. It doesn't have the power. It doesn't know why. It only can put things together and send it here and there.
Right.
It is not a decision maker. What is the root cause? Nobody knows. But we know that certain word I say or the way I express certain things, you can get upset. Correct or not?
That's right. Yeah.
So if I criticize you, you will react. If I
Mm-hmm.
reject you, you will react. If I ignore you, you will react. Or if I misunderstand you, you will react. Right or not?
That's right.
Or if I say something nice to you and then I say something not so nice to you, you will react. Right or not?
Correct.
Because of perceived unfairness, right? I am not treating you fairly. So it is a perception.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or not?
That's right.
So when we describe to people, when we want to say something to people, we must avoid the word you, the name, and directly relating it to you, but to the work that has been done, like
Action.
just now as I explained to you. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Perfect.
sit for the lack of time, Ikram. I can't go on lots of things, but see, what should we do about it? I have developed a very simple method of doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
my way of doing it is, hey, first I must know what my emotion is, which means I must write it down.
Right.
If I don't write it down, okay, after 1 month of research, put everything down, I would not be able to explain it to you the way I'm. Is it easy to understand?
Yes.
So, writing is the power. Now, when you do the third one, which is the first one, which we talked about last time, review. When you review yourself, you are becoming emotionally better with your own emotional feeling about things. And you can then separate between what was real, what was emotional when
Mm-hmm.
you do your review. And as you rightly said last time, that review is number one. It should be review what I've done, and then review my own feeling, what I thought about it, how I felt about it, how I feel bad, whatever that I went through. No, if I went through, and then write it down, I begin to understand why it has made me feel emotionally upset.
Right.
Okay, and then of course the word goal is crucial. Why is it crucial? Because if I pencil down in my daily schedule, these are the few things I want to get done. My mind is focused on the thing that I have to get done.
Correct.
So without my own knowledge, it is processing data, bringing up all my experience in front for you to finish what I'm doing,
That's right.
which is a way of controlling what I have to do today. So, say, review, write, goal
Right. Goal.
as the key. Okay, that's the number one. Number two is breathing. Whenever you get emotional, stop and for just 1 minute, breathe. I mean, you can't close your eyes and breathe in front of somebody who's saying some bad things about you, no? So you must learn how to stop it and then just shut everything down and then breathe. What you are doing is you are bringing in fresh air into your lungs, which converts it, takes in the 22% oxygen, goes straight into your blood and into your brain. And when it goes into your brain, it calms you down.
Right.
So it is a process, breathing, pausing, okay? And then learning to reframe the situation. Why does he think about me like that? How do I see him? What else has he got behind? Just questioning your assumption that you have made.
Right. Right.
Okay. And then by simply looking at why you feel that way. Why am I frustrated? Why am I feeling anxious? By just questioning yourself, you will reduce it.
This can be part of the review process.
Yeah, but even at the time when somebody is throwing tantrums and all that, you could write down what he's saying. As you write down what he is saying, you'll be able to synthesize or at least understand what he is saying and why he is saying what he's saying. In the long term view, no, you need to build confidence, self awareness. So, couple of things like exercise every day, very important. Correct or not?
Correct.
Strengthen yourself, your empathy towards what's happening outside, why people are like this, why people are suffering, why empathy, trying to understand empathy, understanding other people's feeling, and why would, if somebody said that to you, how would you react? Should you use that kind of word? So polishing the way you talk about. That's why it is so important that the language itself must be proficient to make you understand. I must say, no, the fact that I was born an Indian and I, in a way, mastered the Chinese language, and then I mastered the English language and went back to my root to understand the Indian languages, all that has helped me to become what I am and able to help people understand themselves. This, I think, is what we should be doing. Simple, no? Write, breathe, think. Think a little bit why you feel that way. It's a way how you can manage your emotion. But remember, emotion, energy pushes motion, and energy can be from the inside of you.
That's right.
Quite simple, isn't it?
Very simple.
Sounds simple, huh?
Yes, definitely. As always, everything you say sounds simple, but application, but at least you're giving a simple framework for people to start with. And I think that's important.
I hope so, Ikram. I really feel that. I mean, the fact that I took this 1 month to do all this work sounds like, hey, actually, I have learned a lot more than what I knew before.
Mm-hmm.
That human, if they can just take their emotion out and look at it,
They do so much better. Absolutely.
So,
Dr. Vega, we're coming to the close. We've got 2 more minutes actually.
uh-huh.
Is there anything you would like to say to wrap up?
Well, all I can say this, Ikram, I do not know whether people will be able to do that or not. I'm saying this, take about 5 minutes a day, just 5 minutes a day, okay? Just be a little mindful, no? Just a little mindful.
Hmm?
Number one. Number two, you must catch minimum 8 hours of sleep. 8 hours of sleep. You must get it. Very important. No shortcut.
Yeah. But it's so important. I completely agree.
Number three, regular exercise. Walk. Simple walk. Even for 30 minutes, walk.
Mm,
Three things. You do this, you'll be able to manage your emotion much, much better.
fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Dr. Venga. And to our listeners out there, there you have it, how to master your emotions. If you've got any questions with regard to what Dr. Vinga was speaking today, or any other question related to emotions, just drop them in the comment sections. Dr. Vinga answers them personally himself. So don't be shy. Put your comments in the comment section and he'll answer them. And we hope this has been useful and beneficial to you. Till we see you again in our next episode in the following month, which is it's the 2nd of October, right, Dr. Venga? Wednesday.
I believe it is. Let me
Oh,
check.
it's the
Let me check.
1st of October.
1st of October.
1st of
Yeah,
October
first.
is the first Wednesday of the month at 8 p.m. as always. Thank you and good night.
Good night.